Hey, I'm Jeremy, and welcome to the Patriot Club Podcast. I'm joined here with Rains, Xander, Luke, and Stefano. And let's get this shit started, all right? Start off with Trump. What are your thoughts on him?
All right, so let's just introduce ourselves on a political basis. I'm surrounded by my friend Stefano here, who is documented as undecided. I am a independent with left-leaning views, and
I'm right-leaning, but open to other people's views.
I'm a really big conservative.
Yeah, he is really big. He is really big.
I'm a really big,
Not so big.
I'm the founder of Patriot
Just like an
Club,
anarchist.
so I'm supposed to be more of a pro-veterans guy, so I definitely am.
what is that? Okay.
Thoughts on Trump, boys?
Should I say something about myself?
Sure, since you're a new
I
guest.
can hold my breath for 30 seconds underwater.
bro.
Jesus Christ, tell me, man.
All right, what are your thoughts on Trump?
Personally, I don't think he's that bad of a dude. I think he's a little underrated. Personally, I think that all these notions that he's a racist are a little bit over-exaggerated, but the wall makes you want to think about some stuff like that. I mean, Mexico does have a wall on their southern border, but let's be honest, no one's really trying to go to Mexico. So, I mean, I don't really think that America should copy the same and use that as like an excuse to like sort of keep those illegal immigrants out that way. I think there's a lot better, more sort of civil ways that we can go about handling our immigration problems, and I don't think that our building a wall will necessarily help, or even if it does help, it probably will create lots of tension between the two countries that we don't need. I'm being told to talk louder.
All right. My whole thing with Trump is, dude, he's like such a child. Like, it's like the way he talks is so unpresidential, and it's just like I feel like when you're putting that guy with that big of an ego and that much of a that kind of temperament. I don't know. It's just like kind of unfit. He doesn't come off as someone who's like going to be a presidential guy. Like Obama, even though he has his flaws, like of course, like he conducted himself in a very political manner, a very formal way, to the point where it was like, all right, yeah, this is a president who's like actually talking about what he's talking about. Even though like people who disagree with him or this on that, like political views, like I think he just conducted himself a whole lot better than Trump.
I can see that.
There's so many examples that I could give, but it's just like, I don't know, man. It's just not my thing.
So you would want him to be more like Reagan?
No.
Well, Reagan had like an amazing
personality-wise,
personality.
yeah.
Personality-wise,
Yeah.
maybe, yeah, but I was
A little more reserved, I guess.
We don't know Reagan. Like, he died before we were born, you know?
Bro,
Yeah, I know,
Reagan
but
was-
he was like well liked by both sides.
he's an actor. He's an actor.
Yeah,
too.
And also,
and
dude,
he's an actor,
yeah,
yeah.
dude, I'm not saying that.
No, I mean, like, yeah, it goes with being president. There's a certain way you got to conduct yourself.
Yeah.
Because you're the most
Yeah.
powerful man in the world.
All right, if you're the president of the United States, you are literally the face of our country. And
So
I
leader
don't
of
think
the free
that,
world.
and I don't, yeah, exactly. You're the
Yeah.
leader of the free world. Like you're the head, like you're the face of our country. I don't think that you should be like saying like stuff like grab her by the you know what and like stuff like that and like.
Well, to be
just-
fair, those comments were made before he was even running for president.
Yeah, exactly. But it's just like
yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
that kind of.
Yeah, like that history.
It's just,
of him. Yeah,
it's
I know.
just not political.
Yeah, with the context, yeah, when you take it with context of like,
Bro,
say if
what
you take
compare
Obama's
Trump
stuff.
to literally anyone. It's
If you
like
just take Obama's stuff that he did before office, he like in his book, he literally said that he did like a lot of like all sorts of drugs. So
bro,
you take that,
bro, you can still take drugs and be a normal person. Like you
Yeah.
can, bro. There's a lot of people who do like a lot of drugs and scientific research on drugs, and
Elon
even
Musk.
even with like psychedelics and stuff like that. Like I think that a lot of people are taking away what psychedelics are used for and should be used for, because people are always like, yeah, I'm gonna get screwed up, see some crazy stuff on mushrooms. But the thing is, mushrooms are not supposed to do that. It's supposed to be an experience that you have like for the rest of your life. It's not. It's supposed to be like a learning experience.
I remember one time I saw a whole movie on my my bedroom wall, cause like those mushrooms are insane, bro. Like the B movie. It was like, never mind.
All right, yeah, just shut up.
Reigns, what do you think about Trump? President Trump.
All right, I agree with what Luke said about he speaks at kind of like a lower level. I watched a video from my English class at Palm Beach State, and they talked about how
Each state.
his speeches were analyzed, and he speaks at a 4th grade level, which is in comparison to the other presidential candidates. But there's like meaning behind that. If you're trying to talk to people in a casual way where they're like more likely to vote for you because they feel more comfortable around you, then I feel like it could be a strategy because he's a businessman, so he's meant to like
appealing to like a bigger audience.
Yeah.
Where, like
And-
movies where the rating is more towards like PG, like Toy Story.
Yeah.
Make a lot more money than movies that are like rated R. Like
Yeah.
yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, like some people are like
to the
what-
common man, you know.
Yeah, like
He's-
what is because Bernie Sanders
Yeah.
apparently speaks at like the highest level of all the candidates
I have
in
no
the
idea what he's saying.
2016. Sometimes I'm like, what is he saying?
Bro, it's like you're overqualified for president. It's like, are you
Yeah.
serious right now?
No, I think what he's trying to say is that why Donald Trump he has a big appeal on certain people is that he is.
Bro, it's because half the country is literally retarded, and people are like, oh, the wall, I like that.
Well, I
And then
don't think that. I think it's that like he speaks like we speak. Because like Obama.
To a large demographic.
Yeah, he appeals to a large
Yeah.
demographic. He's more relatable in the way that he seems more human than a lot of the other candidates. He is a billionaire.
Yeah.
He does a lot. He's almost like this guy, but the way he conducts himself is like I can relate to him in a little bit of a way.
And also,
you're a child.
also his
Probably.
his big ego is actually helping. I watched a video and it was on CNN about it
Oh.
and how it was a good video.
CNN,
But
oh.
they talked about how he did inherit the economy from Obama. He did inherit like a good economy, but the rise in the economy that he has is pretty big. And
Bro,
it's
you understand that there's a stock market crash every 15 years.
the stock market has, even if it's good, I'm not talking about the goodness of the stock market. Stock market has nothing to do with the presidency other than like tariffs that he put, which I disagree with. But what I'm trying to say is his big ego is inspiring businesses to do better and more investors to invest, which is causing the economy to rise.
Yeah.
What do you think, Jeremy?
I'm not saying he's not helping the economy at all.
No, I'm just pointing that.
Dude,
as
he's doing a
point.
great job with the
Yeah.
economy. I'm getting money in stocks.
Bro, black
Yeah.
unemployment is at an
That's-
all-time
Yeah, I'm just
low.
putting
Yeah,
that
that's.
as a point.
But
for
he's
me-
racist.
For me, I don't really care, but like, obviously, I don't really care about what he says because his effects on the economy is way like, outweighs everything.
So you're saying you don't care about what the president says?
Yes.
I don't agree with.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, I disagree
What
with
what,
as we've
what has he
seen-
said? What has he said that affected the economy and the way?
Bro,
that he made
nothing
money?
that he said affected
Okay, so
the
that shouldn't
economy.
matter
But I'm
too
just
much.
saying, it's like, dude, I don't want someone.
Sure, that's not showing like a good. That's not portraying a good.
Bro,
image
people
on
look at America now and they're like, dang, like I feel like we're the laughing stock of the world because it's like we have this big old fuck it.
But compared to everyone else, we're doing better than them. So we might be perceived as
Alright, you
weird.
can edit that out.
But
We'll just bleep it out.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, Americans, let's be honest, we're thriving. If anyone says anything, we just be like, well, you live in the country that you live in. You
At
don't live
least
in
we didn't
America.
dismember
the majority,
someone.
the majority
Yeah.
of the countries that are like talking shit about us, which is like the Slavic or like the.
Yeah. Don't get me started on Canada. I'm coming
Yeah,
for you.
it's also
whatever your
UK,
name is.
their
Justin
taxes are
Trudeau.
insanely high and like they don't really have a say in it.
You can't
'cause
buy
they
a
can't even
gun.
take home half of their paycheck every week. So
It's also other things like how they hold immigration and everything. But
Yeah.
do they let
Australia.
immigration-
All the
how
other-
they operate?
well, yeah,
How
is there
recently
a
they're-
buyback in Australia too? For
recently a lot of
Like,
their
but-
like they took away everyone's gun.
Well, it's a buyback, but like
Australia.
anywhere between
Yeah.
65% to 85% of the population still have their guns, and
Oh, okay.
it's a whole lot to do with
You want to
the.
talk about guns?
No, it's not.
No,
But we already
We're
did.
going off topic.
Wait, did we?
yeah.
Yes,
it
Reigns.
was last.
Right, keep up.
AR-15s are not used in the military.
All right, let's not.
Oh, it was AR-15.
Yeah, let's cut the gun topic.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to bring
Back to
it up.
Donald Trump. My opinion on him is that ultimately what he says, it will have some effect on, say, the way people perceive him as, say, a child or just a relatable person in general. But ultimately, the words he says should not affect us to the point where we have this sort of irrational thought that anything that he says will affect us personally and the country as a whole. in terms of what's the word? Policy and all this other political stuff.
All right, Luke.
I sounded very smart when I said
You have
that.
a.
All right. Conclusively, my view on Trump is he has great ideas for the economy, and he doesn't really say how he's going to do it, or
He just does it.
Well, the thing is, bro, if you looked at any of the, if you watched the debates between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, it's like, I'm going to do this, this, and this, and then the prompter is like, how? And then he's like, don't worry, I'm gonna make it happen.
We can't do on the past because as we all know.
All right. In conclusion,
It worked. As we all know, it worked.
Well, it's getting people pumped up for his.
Yeah, but it's like, how are you gonna do it?
He was
It's like-
talking about lowering.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's like, really, it's like, come on,
think
man.
he
All
just made
right,
it
conclusively,
But I understand what he's saying.
he's all bark, no bite, and kind of like is just childish in the way he carries himself and his mannerisms, like saying like at the Republican National Convention, like, there's no problem with my hands. It's all good. There's no problem down there.
That's good. That's
Like,
good.
I'm just like, all right, if you have to actually like
That's good.
say that, then it's like, really?
Can we acknowledge how good of an impression that was? That was actually pretty good.
Thank
All right, Xander.
Not gonna
What's
lie.
your conclusive
But-
talks about Trump?
So I agree that he does say some childish things, but I believe that
Unpresidential.
how he's running the country is good, and I think that's better than personality. I believe that your actions is better than personality.
Actions speak louder than words.
Amen. Amen. That's in the Bible.
can't-
Psalms
they
2:30.
Oh yeah, actions speak louder than words.
I'll check that.
Eric Iverson, 2018.
Well, my concluding thoughts on Trump is basically like, sure, everyone knows that he said a lot of shit, and like,
Can we stop with
Obviously.
the curse words?
obviously,
Yeah, this is a Christian channel.
I know my
Sorry.
Christian podcast.
but like, dude,
You just say what you're gonna say, bro.
basically like, as Xander said, that really shouldn't. I don't think that, or not really as Xander said, but I think that shouldn't really like outweigh everything that he's done, and like, obviously, he said, as you said, like, he hasn't really said like as to how he's gonna do it.
Yeah.
He's still like,
He's gonna do it though.
yeah, he still like he did a lot
But
of.
it's
what
just
he
like,
said so
dude, it's
far.
like you literally are having like the entire cabinet run the country, and you're just like,
Well, that's the
I'm
point of
gonna
the
have this happen.
Guys, don't
They're
forget to
gonna
vote.
make it happen.
Yeah.
Guys, don't forget to vote.
That's one of
very
the main
soon.
points
Don't
of the
forget to vote.
cabinet, though, because
Yeah,
obviously,
but
like the
Checks and
president
balances, right?
Oh, another thing, his cabinet. Why would you appoint the literal leader of Exxon as your Secretary of State? That's literally
Oh, yeah, he's
it's
no
like,
longer
it's like we're trying
can't
to.
stay in.
Putting the ruling class in a position to make the laws.
It's. He made someone that's in charge of a multi-billion-dollar industry head of many of the choices that Trump makes. You know what I mean? So it's like
He wants to run the country like a business.
exactly, and I don't think that's right.
I disagree. I think that's a good thing.
Yeah. Well,
Because that's
There's definitely,
I think there's much more things that can happen that's good for the world without making money. And it's like money isn't about everything. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, gas is great and it V8, hell yeah, but like, dude, it's not sustainable at all.
But
And it's
money-
like once you put Rex Tillerson as Secretary of State, it's like there's no way that we're gonna
which
like
camera are we looking at?
whatever.
I think that one thing about Trump is his interaction with the media and how he's like different from
Fake news.
other people in the past. Like I was
How-
watching a video on Snapchat and they were like putting a lot of the things he said out of context. And one of my teachers says that you shouldn't say fake news, but it is true that a lot of news these days like
hate
take
all
stuff out of
news.
context.
Bro, that's literally the media though. That's been the way it's been
Yeah.
since forever.
But I mean,
No,
so
he
you
stands
can't just
up
say
for
like
it.
it's all fake now. Now
No, I
that
don't
it's
think
like
it's all
contradicting
fake,
that the
but
president.
I just think
mainstream
that
media is just trash.
Trump is important because he like stands up for himself. Because a lot of people don't stand up for himself, you know.
But like, how are you gonna call every news channel fake besides Fox? You know?
Oh no, they aren't.
Oh, we
I'm
didn't
just
say
saying,
that.
like,
You said
Even
that.
Fox has done probably.
Yeah,
fake
Fox.
stuff.
I was just talking about
Everything, like,
Snapchat.
like, all the
yeah,
things-
one
yeah,
thing
but
on Snapchat.
yeah, but I'm just saying, like a lot of conservatives are like, everything's fake news. It's fake news. If it hurts me, it's fake. Like
I think
that's
if it
the
takes it
original.
out of
That's the original. Like,
context.
no, that's fake.
Well, that's everybody. That's
So
everybody.
it's like-
If it takes it out of context, then I'd say that it's misleading, and if it's misleading, then it's fake.
Even if I hear bad news, I'm not gonna like go to the first default of it's fake. You know, it's like
Yeah.
But
I mean,
it is healthy to be skeptical about anything you read. Obviously, do your research, guys.
Yeah.
Don't be easily fooled. I learned that in Foolproof. Mr. Adams, anybody? Economics? Yeah.
We're in go.
So, obviously, I think in conclusion, we just all hope he does the best. Maybe he can mature a little bit. I hope not, because he makes really good memes and it's really funny to hear him speak. I, for one, enjoy everything he says. It makes me laugh. But let's hope for the best. Hope for a better country.
Bro, it makes you laugh, but it's like, that's your president, bro. It's like,
I mean,
Yeah,
I get that, but he's
I feel
delivering.
like the president stopped being a person to look up to ever since Bill Clinton.
Yeah, that was...
Well, people didn't really look up to the president. They just appointed them to help.
No, it was like George Washington and everything.
Well, I mean,
Well, what
that
about
was-
Reagan? Reagan, people like looked up.
Nah,
you
you should
think
look
about
up
it,
to
like-
Abe Lincoln. Though.
But okay,
Yeah,
it peaked at
and
He's like
it peaked at
6'3" or something.
It peaked at Abe Lincoln, then it went slowly like up and down, but like way down.
bro,
here.
Bill Clinton was a good president. He just fucked someone.
He was a great president, but like,
Yeah, he was a
as
good
you
president.
guys,
We
as
can't
like a
deny
lot
he
of
did
people are
good
saying, like, the president's like technically, like a lot of people see the president as someone to look up to, as like, you know, I want to possibly get to that point, or like
A role
someone
model.
yeah, like a role model. However, obviously,
I don't see
even
Trump as
even
that at
before
all.
even before Bill Clinton, like there's been several presidents that have been the diametrically opposed.
So you're saying that it's
meaning of a role model.
So you're saying it's okay to not be a role model?
No, I feel like ever since, like, most of the presidents
are
that
you
have
trying to
been
say?
around, but I'm saying that, like, I feel like ever since, like, well before Trump, there was not really any good role models as presidents. So why is it all of a sudden a problem with Donald Trump?
Right.
I think what he's trying. I think what
The
he's trying
words
to
that just
say.
came out of your
Got
mouth
head
aren't
in
making
the
any sense at all.
Oval
I think what he's
Office,
trying to say is that,
What do you think Trump and Melania do?
bro, they're married.
yeah, they're married, and like, can you blame him even if like if
It's
they
not
weren't,
abuse of
like,
power. It's fucking they're
You
married.
could look up to all of them though. Like you could look up to Trump and be like, he's a successful businessman. You could look up to
Yeah.
Obama.
Yeah.
You could be like, what
He
a
has a
tough
first
First African American
personality.
president.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean much, but
yeah,
you know,
for sure.
whatever.
There's
It's just
There's
your
good,
view on if you
there's
can look
good
up
and
to
bad
things
qualities
about them,
about everyone.
Yeah, there's
So-
good things about, like, you could literally take him as an individual and say, like, good and bad things, but as a president, I don't think, like, that's not really...
I still may agree Ben Franklin was never president. That's something that we had to check out. Maybe we missed it. He should have been a president.
All right, let's talk about the
Bro, even not a president, I don't like Trump. Like, he's just a not good guy, bro. He just says so
I mean, Jesse
many
Owens
mean things.
even
Bro,
gave
he's
him an
such
award
a mean guy.
for
Just
being
so
a warrior for the black
mean-spirited.
community,
It's
like
Yeah.
a while
shut the
ago. But like,
I'm pretty
everyone
sure.
has their
Alright, next
flaws.
topic.
Everyone
Let's talk
has
about-
pros.
all right.
Okay, so there's a difference between wage and income, which a lot of people don't understand. Income is how much money you bring in after all the taxes and expenses and fees you have to pay in is taken out of your wage, which is what you make per hour. Say $10 per hour is your wage, but say $9.37 is your income because all the is taken. That's the amount after all the fees are taken out. There's a difference between that. And what also people don't understand is that there are different jobs and things that women prefer over men because, let's be honest, women and men we're not the same.
Yeah.
We can pretend to be the same, but honestly, we're almost two different species.
Yeah.
Women tend to, this is speaking generally. This is not, this is purely based on statistics and no sexism, whatever. If you're a girl watching this, I'm sorry. But women tend to prefer to go into fields that, Miss Brewer's probably getting mad, but girls pretend to go into fields, job fields where they get paid less.
Pretend.
They tend to go to jobs where they get paid less. Teaching, fashion. Some branches.
Oh, fashion's pretty.
It's hard to make money.
Yeah,
at it.
yeah.
So,
Yeah,
like,
it'll be liberal art.
Bro, the girl
Yeah,
sitting, sitting across from me in anatomy is literally gonna be ass resigned.
yeah, I know. Like I'm saying,
Yeah,
this
well,
is
that's her decision.
Yeah, there's
individuals.
This is I don't believe in the collective.
As a whole.
I don't believe in a collective, but the statistics are looking at the whole collective.
Bro,
which-
collectively, girls are smarter than men. I think.
School-wise.
They're the
Yeah,
same.
Yeah,
School-wise.
school-wise. I mean,
But in the
it's-
real world,
yeah.
it seems
It's like the same.
In the real
And
world,
men,
they
I'm
tend
not
to-
finished.
I actually
I'm not
don't know
finished.
this.
And men tend to prefer jobs that just pay them more money. Lawyers, doctors, those are fields mostly dominated by men. And women and all these feminists are getting angry about that, but they don't get angry at the woman-dominated fields like medicine, which does get nursing, which does get paid decent amount of money. And for those reasons, the wage gap is actually not true because those aren't taken account into the actual statistic itself, because that's just looking at the median earnings of
It's
men
like,
and women.
they say it's 70. I think it's like 73 cents.
77 cents
per dollar.
77 cents per dollar men makes, but that's just not true because that doesn't take into account all those factors of, you know, who we are and what we decide to do as a collective. And when that's taken into account, the gap shrinks, and it closes almost entirely. It becomes 96.5 or 96.3 cents to every dollar a man
it's
makes.
like 99% or 104%. Like I heard that.
And women also make more. I'm sorry, but
You already know.
single women, right after college, up until about age, I think 40 or 35, something like that, make more money than men right after college too.
Yeah, because they're
There was-
literally single and they're trying to bust their ass.
There
so
was
they have
also
a good
there was
life.
also a statistic that
But
that was put.
feminists aren't talking about that wage gap.
There's a statistic that was put inside of the Time magazine about this. It showed that women in the same exact field, in the same exact positioning of a male counterpart, are paid 140% more than the male counterpart. So like that sort of shows that like realistically that's not really like too much of a gap compared to if you compare it to like the whole aspect of like being in the same fields, you know.
On an unrelated note from the gender pay gap, but with money, is that people perceive someone to be rich or wealthy on how much they make or how high of a job they have.
Because that's what it means.
No.
Monetarily,
So,
yeah.
Being rich,
so
being rich,
monetarily
being
rich
rich,
is-
it's
yeah.
not how much money you make, it's how much money you keep. So
That's a good way to look at it.
yeah, you could be a poor person, but you could invest your money and be smart with your money,
That's
and you'll be richer than
me.
a doctor.
That's me.
Because there was this one janitor. It was a story where he knew that he wasn't smart. He knew he wasn't gonna succeed in life. He was a janitor, and he decided to save all his money and then put it learned about investing, and he retired with more money than most Americans do, who are
Support
even
your
middle
local
class.
janitors.
Even
Bro,
though
if you
he
don't
was
have
in
debt,
lower class.
if you don't have debt and you have a 20 in your pocket, like you're richer than half the country.
Well, there's good and bad debt. There's like,
Yeah.
so buying a house to rent out is good debt. Buying a house to live in is bad debt.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah,
Rains,
you
what
guys
do you
can go
think?
back there.
Rains,
I
what
just
do you
want to
think?
put
Oh yeah, I was gonna say that the problem with the wage gap is that they try to say that like you're making 77% on like the same job and everything, but the problem is they don't control for hours, and they try to say that because women earn less on average, then they're being paid less, and they're trying to say that it's the same stuff despite men and women dominating different fields.
yeah, we're all different, bro.
Bro, I think this is an argument that women have to like talk to their bosses about and not like.
For real.
Well, it's illegal because the Equal Pay Act.
Yeah.
And also
1960 was
they
illegal.
realistically enter into that contract of pay because everything that you get paid for is a consensual contract between the employee and employer.
Women, men, you can't do anything. Don't let statistics bring you down.
What was
If
that
you want to
point
be
you
a
wanted to
doctor
bring
and you're a little girl, be a doctor.
Same. What was that point you wanted to bring up earlier?
Oh no, I'm not gonna
You
bring
know
it
what I'm
up
saying?
because I don't know if that would like be good.
We're gonna talk about taxation now. Is it?
So
You could say what it's about.
I think taxation is theft, and I think the only thing that taxation should be used for is for the police, the military, just keeping our country safe. That's my.
Are we
opinion.
talking about like taxes, like how much people get taxed, or if it's
yeah,
theft,
everything,
or
everything.
or like where the taxes are going to?
Yeah, like the use of taxes, how much you get taxed.
taxation in general, I think should only be used, or you know how you have different types of taxes,
Yeah.
and it'll
Property
go to
tax,
different
income
sections.
tax.
Yeah, I believe that we should have only the part that is for the military and the police and all that.
Do you think that-
I think we should take out all the.
So the
Bare
defense
bones.
spending.
yeah, the
think that-
defense
Do
spending.
you think that how much money you make also should also
So you're
influence?
saying
Should
that
you
all
pay
our
more
taxes
if
should go to
you're-
defense?
No. I'm saying that we should take out such as Social
prioritize
Security,
stuff.
take out Social Security, take out taxes for roads, take
There's-
out taxes for all that stuff.
Well, then
and I
how
could
would-
explain my point.
So if
What I would rather the
Let him
economy
elaborate.
to be like is instead of having taxes pay for roads, we have businesses either sponsor or own roads. And what they're going to be able to do is advertise on that road, right? And they want to have a good image. So what they do is they make that road as nice as possible. Because there's places in New York, the bridges that are terrible.
Will they charge
and even though
tolls,
the
though? so fast and
they're
stuff
not
like
going to
that?
charge
So,
tolls
all right,
because
dude, we already have all of our roads that we need. Are you just gonna close them
No,
down?
like,
no,
a lot of
the
roads
better
need-
the road.
A lot
Yeah,
of the roads
like-
Because
need,
like New
tar,
York, the
yeah.
bridges are like
infrastructure in
terrible.
America is not that good.
And then in Ohio, where my cousin lives, the roads are terrible and they're not fixing it, but we're still paying the tax dollars to fix.
I feel like the Social Security portion. There's a statistic that shows that in 2024, Social Security is going to run dry, basically. And considering it's a governmental program, it technically cannot go bankrupt. So therefore, they would have to instate other different like programs in order to replenish the Social Security system, or increase the taxes for.
Yeah, because
Social
like we're not
Security.
gonna get Social Security, right?
There's not even our parents are gonna get Social Security.
Dang, sorry, mom.
Oh.
Because it's only in 2024 is when it's
And
gonna
also-
run dry.
Sorry.
The point about the like rich people and the taxes. So why I know Hillary Clinton wanted to take away the loopholes that the rich have to pay less percentage in taxes.
Yeah.
And
Is that bad?
I don't believe that's unfair. I don't believe that's unfair because anyone could do these loopholes that the rich do. The rich are the ones that actually take action and do
They
it.
just know the right people.
They also
No,
keep-
so
yeah.
the real estate, there's this law that if you sell a house and use the money to buy another house, that money is tax free.
Oh yeah, my dad did that.
And then also they get an LLC, which means they pay less money in taxes because it's their business.
Yeah.
They're not actually a business, but
What does LLC stand for?
limited
I actually
liability
don't-
company.
yeah, I don't know.
Hey.
I have one. It's a,
I want to get.
Do
I need
your
to get one.
research. I personally think taxes, while sometimes it could be theft, I mean, honestly, it's like, let's think about it. What's
I
the
think
difference, what's the
everyone-
difference between the government, like, taking your money and some, like, guy just taking $2 out of your pocket every time you get your paycheck?
Bro,
I mean,
you're literally not making any sense whatsoever.
well, I mean, I'm not done.
So yeah, just continue. Yeah.
So like, I think that ultimately the money that we make should, even though it should go to us, they're ultimately, you know, we're not the only people in the country, that a lot of people need that money. So taxes do serve their purpose. I do agree with the notion that we should definitely prioritize more stuff with the taxes that we pay over other things. Like, there are a lot of Americans, especially Christian Americans, who don't agree with a lot of the practices that, you know, Planned Parenthood, you know, do stuff with abortion, stuff like that. But their the tax money is being used to fund that, you know, through the government.
Yeah, but also.
And I
like,
think that,
it's $200 billion of.
and I think that
Do you think we should give $700 billion to the fucking?
It's 836 billion, and then but also.
Dude, you're
you take
literally
it out-
proving my point even more.
No, I'm saying, but also Social Security programs take up over 1.03 trillion dollars.
That's literally for us though.
Yeah, I know, but
But we're not even
But
getting.
no,
it.
we
Can I
don't.
finish?
So what happened? It's
Sorry.
it's Social Security. The money that we get that's put into it is for the people now.
Yeah.
So it's not saved for us. It's for the people now. So say Social Security is gone and we just
we
pay.
don't have that money back.
Yeah, we don't get that money back.
Yeah.
Here's them
So the
from the
people that
beginning.
yeah, and then also you want to finish actually.
I forgot what I was
just
gonna
want
go
to.
on.
I just want to say one thing. I think that people should be able to choose where they're putting their tax dollars to.
Okay.
Because then
Okay.
it's actually like a government run by the people. I don't know, like
Yeah.
in the Constitution.
Well, it can't be run
So-
purely by the people,
I think it should be purely run by the people with like.
like a pure democracy.
I'm not saying pure
pretty,
democracy. I'm saying there should be like people in charge, like people like to vote for on behalf of the people. I think that's-
Representatives,
Yeah.
Yeah, represent Republic. That's
Yeah.
what we do.
But I also believe that
That's what we do.
the people need more power, and it's literally like there's so many people who have
Go
my
out and
views and like are completely opposed to Trump, completely opposed
Yeah.
to like gasoline and all that kind of stuff, and like it's just like our voices aren't even getting heard. Like it's like
That's-
literally like half the country that you know, like dude, Hillary Clinton got 2 million more votes. You know, it's like I'm not gonna say
That's
like
not
oh like
how it
electoral
works.
college, but it's just like
Yeah.
That's why
gerrymandering.
That's why I think running a country like a business is good because
No.
businesses are
Dude,
market.
you're literally trying to make money though.
So,
you're having a
businesses-
country based out of money
Businesses are market driven.
and greed.
So businesses are market driven. So they cater to the people,
The
right?
interests that are.
I mean, in the
So-
socialist, communist countries that
Yes.
aren't driven by
no,
money,
the people and their
you see that
stockholders.
they fail
So
ultimately. And that the
look at
people starve.
Lay's. Lay's will make the competition to do flavors, and they would use whoever wins to have that flavor possibly forever or for a long time. And then also there's shareholders who are in the company who make a ton of decisions. And if a company does a bad thing, like Target and the transgender bathrooms, I don't know if they still have it, but there was a ton of backlash, and I believe it's gone. You don't.
Bro, with the whole transgender thing, why do y'all care so much? Why do people care?
Because I don't want someone who's a man.
I don't think he was making another point. I think he was just bringing it up.
I was just bringing up as an example.
I know, but I'm just bringing it up as like, bro, if someone wants to be something else that they're not,
freedom, bro.
If it doesn't affect you personally, why do you care?
Because I don't want a man. I don't want a man.
We're going off topic. That's a discussion for another time. Next episode, maybe.
Shut up.
Here, let me just explain my point. I don't want a man.
Let's do the whole transgender thing. We got time.
Let me just say, I don't want a man dressed like a woman, looking in the ladies' restroom when my daughter is like peeing or something.
Why does that matter to you?
Cause I don't want some pervert to go in there. No, but if I get a daughter, I don't want him doing it.
You're gonna buy a daughter?
If I have a daughter. All right.
I don't think that we're supposed to only care about ourselves, like, in terms of safety. Like, shouldn't we care about the safety of everyone as long as everyone else cares about their own safety, you know?
I'm saying
if you're like a 10-year-old kid and then you're like, oh, I care about my safety, and then I'm like, I care about my safety too, then how is it wrong for me to agree that their safety is important? That's basically what you were saying about the transgender bathroom thing. You care about their safety too. So
I care about everyone's safety, because you could be a pervert and just go into a bathroom and then do something to a girl and then say you're transgender.
Bro, you're literally basing your argument off of one scenario. You know that, right?
Well,
like one scenario of a transgender guy, a woman, or a man being a woman.
That's the whole point of the bathroom thing.
But you're introducing those scenarios that are unnecessary. In the past, you wouldn't be introducing those scenarios because it'd be like, whoa, guy, or like possible guy, get out of here. But by allowing more people in, it's more scenarios in which you're endangering a kid.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It's like unnecessary risk is what he's arguing. I don't know what I'll say, but you know.
All I'm saying is, bro.
Do what you do, bro.
Bro, if people want to be gay, be gay. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care.
If you want to be, dude, if you want to dress up like a girl and like wear a wig,
it's Halloween. Go ahead.
Just don't come to my door, like, bro.
Don't come into a girl's bathroom because you're not a girl. That's just my opinion.
Okay.
You're not.
Wait, that was your mouth?
Yeah, I was wondering what the
I thought that was like a static.
You could dress up like a girl. You could go around anywhere like a girl. I don't care. You could get the surgery. I don't care. But when you're going into my bathroom and harming people, or possibly giving that situation,
bro, where are you
the potential situation of that.
So you're thinking that every transgender is a rapist?
No, I'm not saying. I'm saying even if you're not transgender, you could use that as the excuse to go into a bathroom.
Well, would you want Reigns in a wig and your daughter
Reigns made
in
a
the same
good
bathroom?
Reigns made a good point. So what he was saying that we never thought of this until now. People didn't think about, transgenders going into the people.
Because it was like literally you would die back in the day if you were like trying to be gay.
It wasn't like,
okay,
it was like a.
Let me say,
if you want to be transgender, you were dead.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's.
We're
more country now.
We're more liberal to the point where it's like now we're accepting gay rights and like.
I don't mind gay rights or
it's more like you have
that stuff, but
exactly, dude. If you're a citizen of the United States, I think you should be able to do whatever you want with your body, whether it be from abortion to being a woman. If you want to be a woman,
I think now,
if you want to be a woman, that has nothing to do with me. I don't care. Do it. That's on you, man. Like if you want to do that and you're like. If you want to take
what you want to do, it's America.
Like, bro, do it. I don't
do what you want, bro.
Yeah, but like when you start going into the whole like, the transgender, the raping in the bathroom, then that's gonna affect you, and then that's a problem. Yeah. But you can't just generalize a whole
I'm not saying the transgenders are doing it. I'm saying because they're allowed to go into the bathroom. There are bad people in the world. People could pose as a transgender and go into the bathroom.
But
there are bad people in the world.
Yeah, there's bad people. There's bad people everywhere. You can't just stop all the crime ever.
Yeah, but the whole
be cool if we could, but
the whole argument is about it is like basically it's a risk that like is being added into the situation, which
it's a very minor.
It's a very minor risk.
It's a very niche risk.
It's still like possible.
It's like the whole like. It's like the thing where you said like only 0.01 of abortions come from rape. You know what I mean? It's like only 0.01.
1%.
Yeah, like less than 1% of
if you had a parachute,
people in the bathroom go rape.
So do you think? Do you believe that? This is on the topic. Just trust me.
Yeah.
So do you believe that the second? Do you believe that the Second Amendment is there, or it is there for that? But do you believe in to bear the arms to defend yourself against the government if they are become tyrann.
bro.
Yes, that's the exact same thing. That is such
No,
a
it's
small
not,
scenario. That is
Okay,
such a
let me-
small
let me-
scenario, but you agree with that small scenario.
Yeah,
Let me-
but
let
it's
me
not
use a
like
better
that was in the
example.
Constitution, brother.
Yes, it is. It's written in the
Yeah,
Constitution
dude,
that,
yeah, that
to
is,
protect
but-
yourself
yeah.
from the.
I think he's
But
giving
not
an
the
analogy.
transgender.
for
Right, right.
sex.
Well, okay,
Yeah,
well, let me
but-
use a more better example that I think that would be more tangible.
I like that.
If you jump out of a plane and you have a parachute, would you rather have a 100% chance a parachute would be there and pop out and save you, or would you rather have a 99% chance?
You're tripping. That's
Yo,
what
yo,
you
yo.
do with it.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
thought you were gonna
That's
say
what I'm.
We're gonna have to wrap it up. So that's the
What teaser for next time?
What's the next topic?
well, that's it for this episode.
Brett Kavanaugh.
However,
Find out.
next episode, one of the primary topics are going to be Brett Kavanaugh, and then you know
And Reigns
whatever else
raging
we
at.
end up talking about, you guys will see. Till then,
I might not be here though.
enjoy your day,
I hate Trump and love solar.
enjoy your week.